Some of you may fight, but in the end, you will thank us. I am your father, and you are my children.
Far Cry 5 takes place in the fictional location of Hope County, Montana. Once a small, sleepy area, the county has since been overrun by an extremist doomsday cult project called Eden's Gate. Initially, no one gave a second thought about the cult. Most of the Hope County citizens just saw them as a few crazies who subscribed to a weird religion and weird beliefs. It wasn't until the cult started kidnapping citizens of the county against their will in order to indoctrinate them into their doomsday religion and began to stockpile weapons that the law got involved. Now, as the player, you take on the role of a rookie in the Hope County Sheriff's Department, tasked with serving an arrest warrant for the notorious cult leader, Joseph Seed. You, the sheriff, and 2 fellow deputies, and a federal marshal all traveled to Joseph's church to arrest him. After being met with a number of his extremely devout followers, the sheriff suggests to the marshal that they go in without their weapons drawn and try to be as peaceful as possible. The marshal agrees, and they enter the church, where they are met with Joseph's armed followers and the rest of his family.
Something is coming. You can feel it, can you? We are creeping toward the edge, and there will be a reckoning. That is why we started the project, because we know what happens next. They will come. They will try to take from us, take our guns, take our freedom, take our faith. We will not let them.
Sheriff, come on. Hold on, Marshal.
We will not let their greed, or their immorality, or their depravity hurt us anymore.
Sheriff,
there will be no more suffering.
Now focus.
Joseph C. I have a warrant issued for your arrest on the suspicion of kidnapping with the intent to harm. Now, I want you to step forward and keep your hands where I can see them.
There they are, the locusts in our garden. See, they've come for me. They've come to take me away from you. They've come to destroy all that we built.
Hold on. Do not touch that service weapon. Hold on and don't stand down. Stand down.
The opening is a high point for Far Cry 5. It introduces a great villain, the rather timely premise of saving forgotten America from the brink of disaster, and the kind of seat-in-your-pants action that video games are made for. Afterwards, the sense of purpose quickly dissipates in a meandering journey to liberate the country's 3 regions from gun-toting cultists, and the game soon reveals that it's kind of tonally confused. Now, for those of you who haven't played the game, I bet you may also be asking, why is Joseph and his cult allowed to get away with this? Why not bring the police in? Why not bring the army in? And again, the answer lies in a very unique and pretty accurate part to the game's plot. Again, the cult was able to buy off and essentially recruit the local police. The federal government couldn't get involved for a long while because there was no information on what was going on. And there was also no proof that the Seeds were breaking any laws, such like, how many cults are started. And so again, the arrest doesn't go as planned, but once shit hits the fan, there is no way for the player or the local law to reach out to the outside world, as Joseph and all his followers cut off communication outside of the county lines. Now, this is not only a very smart way to play the game, but also very realistic. And again, the people the marshal reports to may have caught on to him, never reporting in, but the feds couldn't just storm Hope County looking for him. And again, it's all about politics and the bureaucracy of law, which really sets the stage for the sequence of events that follow throughout Far Cry 5. For us, video games are just cultural objects that signify nothing but hedonic excess. And on the other side, video games also mean a lot to us, just like other art forms, where a message can be told and stories can go deeper than just, mindless, hedonistic joy. But, however, Far Cry 5 isn't willing to wade in the shallow end of the pool with the Uncharted series. Instead, it wants to venture out deeper into the waters of doomsday cults, colonialism, and at the time that this game was made, Trump's America. All while towing the open-ended, thriller-second schema of the modern open-world game. So again, Ubisoft continues to subscribe to the South Park theory, where both sides are bad, so in air quotes, let's laugh about it. Now, while the Megacorp's attempts to commentate on the moment ought to be applauded in some sort of conceptual sense, they still need to kind of learn that it takes more than just draping old glory over gleaming machinery of your blood and guts Disney World to actually say something about what was the first version of Trump's America at the time. And personally, in my opinion, Far Cry 5 doesn't succeed in reconciling these two sides of its personality. But then, it doesn't really try. This is a game in which you'll be listening to descriptions of cannibalism and torture on one mission, and then tearing down a highway in a monster truck with mounted machine guns in the next. So to enjoy it, you kind of have to inoculate yourself against these sudden changes in mood. Far Cry 5 is most enjoyable when it embraces the chaos that ensues when a player is left on an island full of hostile cultists. Blowing up cultist shrines, liberating farms and factories, generally making yourself a flamethrower toting nuisance is great fun. And again, the characters you can recruit are entertaining characters of small town USA. Planes, boats, and road vehicles are all easy and enjoyable to drive, and also very easy to blow up. Again, it's jarring to be wrenched away from the open world and into a confrontation with one of the Seed siblings each time. And again, it always happens with no warning, like briefly being kidnapped into a different game. But it comes part and parcel with what Far Cry was trying to do. And again, cooperative multiplayer also adds another unpredictable element to it, because again, with two players running around, things are even more likely to devolve into constantly escalating shootouts. And again, sometimes this chaos is enjoyable, sometimes it's confusing and frustrating. Occasionally, the game forgets where you were and what you were doing before you died, so again, it just plonks you somewhere random on the map. And again, other glitches and confusing moments also happen when the game system kind of collides. Because again, you can approach a weeping man over the body of what looked like his dead friend, and then immediately he'll straighten up and deliver a line of dialogue about some nearby side mission, and then just randomly walk off. It taps into the prevailing geopolitical sense of being right on the brink of disaster, but it stays well away from the real-world issues that clearly inspired its themes. There are numerous references to Trump. One side mission has you retrieving a certain infamous, compromising tape for a federal agent who keeps talking about golden showers, but again, it's played for laughs rather than political commentary. Eden's Gate cultists might be extremists, but they're emphatically not white supremacists in air quotes. And again, it comes close to trying to say something, but it never actually does. And it's far more comfortable when it's being silly than when it's being serious. Again, so making you wish that it had committed wholeheartedly to the playful satire rather than spreading its bets. So again, in my opinion, they should have just chosen a side. Either you're going to make it a fun, satirical commentary, or you're going to make it something like deep, thoughtful, and insightful and really, take it there. You can't have both. Like if your writers aren't really that good, you can't, toe the line on both sides. And again, the story does have fantastic writing, so it's not me necessarily downplaying the story or criticizing the writers, but you kind of have to pick a side. Either you go wholeheartedly or you just stay in that little playful realm. Ultimately, there are great individual moments in Far Cry 5. The gunplay is excellent. Its unpredictable world generates daring stories of accidental heroism. And when it leans into the whole red-blooded American patriotism shtick and the satire, it's genuinely funny. It doesn't always fit together as well as it should, like I was mentioning with some more serious topics, but sometimes forcing the player to work around the game rather than with it. But the vividly fascinating tone is the bigger issue. It's at once disorienting and non-committal. So paradoxically, this is an extreme satire of modern America that says pretty much nothing about modern America.
Begin the reaping!
Cut me deep, these secrets and lies, storming the quiet. This is the only way the story ends. Nothing you can do can change that. Feel the fury closing
But in the meantime, my monitor, because I'm used to my camera being on my monitor, but I moved the camera.
Stop right there!
Okay. Was not.